All right, so let's go ahead and look at midline of sine and cosine curves. So remember, it is midline, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Midline is in the middle. And when I say the middle, it's going to be in the middle of from the top to the bottom. So from max to min. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to type in a couple equations and see if we can see the relationship here. So if I was to type in f of x equals to sine x, you'll notice that that graph shows up. And we're going to be looking from the middle. So if we look for the midline, and the midline is from the top to the bottom, well, all I got to do is say, well, that is somewhere in the middle. And you'll notice there's a line right here that divides it right in the middle. That is going to be our midline. Okay, and one of the directions on this thing is going to say, write the midline equations for the two graphs. Remember, midline is written to y equals to some number. So in this case, I'm going to write y equals to 0. And what you should see is that the midline should appear in the middle of that graph. Well, let's go ahead and look at another one. So let's say f of x equals to a sine of 2x plus 3. And you'll notice that there's two values this time. There's a 2 and a 3 that's been added in. And so let's go ahead and I'm going to change the color of that one. Let's go ahead and look for the midline on this one. So once again, we are looking for the middle between the top and the bottom. And if we notice right in the middle of there, we got a line that divides the top and the bottom. It is approximately at that value of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm going to type in that midline and see how that works. So type in y equals to 3. Boom, it shows up. It cuts it right in half from max to min. Okay, so we are in good shape there. The maximum in this, or the midline in this case, is going to be the y equals to 3 line. Okay, and then let's go ahead and type in one more. Can you make a guess of where the midline would be at this point? Let's go ahead and say negative 3 sine of x equals or minus 7. That's going to show up down at the bottom, and you'll notice that it is moved down. Okay, and let's find the midline in this case. Now it is from the middle of the max and the min, so there is there's another way we could do this. We could actually say the max, we can say the max plus the min divided by 2. So that's one way we could do this as well. So let's go ahead, and there's our maximum, which is -4. There's our max, which is -10. So let's just do the calculation real quick. So -4 plus -10 divided by 2, which is -4. That's -14 divided by 2, which is -7 should be our midline. Y equals -7. And then of course we can say, okay, well, let's look for the middle. We got the top there, we got the bottom there, and we just count up and we look where there's 1, 2, 3 right in there. And then there's 1, 2, 3, there's it. So if I draw right there, guess what? At -7, which we just calculated, it looks like that may be the midline. Let's type it in. So y equals to -7 is going to be our line for the midline. Okay, and there it is, it shows up. So how does the midline relate to the equation? Notice on the first one that we typed in, the midline was 0, y equals to 0. Well, guess what? There's nothing added to the outside of that. That's 0, okay? And the second one was y equals to 3. Well, guess what? There is a 3 right there. Okay, and then we had y equals to -7, which is right here, -7. All three of these on the outside, the constant on the outside is our midline. Okay, and what that is going to do is it's going to tell us whether or not the sine graph translates sine of x. It will translate it up or down. And that's what the midline is doing in that case, just graphically moving it up or down. And the last number in your sine cosine curve is the midline. Y'all have a great day.